Hello students. So today we are going to start with a new chapter in chemistry, that is the periodic table. Okay, this periodic table chapter is very interesting. Basically this is the fundamental chapter of chemistry. So let's start with the chapter. Okay, in this module we are going to study about the different scientists. Okay, that is the Daubrinius. Okay, law of Trites. We are going to learn about the Newland octaves. This was the first scientist. Second scientist was the Newland's octaves. Third was the Mendeleev, and last one and the most important person, that is the Henry Moseley. This Daubrinian law of Trites. Okay, see, the name is Daubrinian. This name is Newland, Mendeleev, Henry Moseley. Okay, these were the scientists who were available. Okay, who made up the discovery of this periodic table. Okay, this periodic table, which you can see in the page 80. Okay, basically this is the periodic table, and this is exactly the main part of the periodic table, because without this periodic table chemistry can't be developed. Only in old, see, why we have to study of these four scientists names. Okay, why we have to study about them? See, understand one thing very clearly. These four scientists started to discover of the periodic table. Okay, but finally Henry Moseley amongst them was quite successful in making of this periodic table. So let's start with the first scientist, that is the Daubrinian laws of Trites. See, in olden days there were only few elements which were discovered. Okay, only few elements that were discovered. But as the science have progressed, okay, as there was more and more innovation that was happening during those days, more and more elements got discovered, and due to the discoveries of more elements, the periodic table was in a trending. Okay, trending means what? It was changing. During Daubrinian laws of Trites, he made up his own periodic table. Newland made his own periodic table, Mendeleev. But last but not the least, Henry Moseley periodic table has been followed worldwide. Okay, it has been universally accepted, which we have saw on the page 80. So Daubrinian laws of Trites. Daubrinian's law of Trites. What do you mean by the word Trites? Word Trites means three. Basically he was a scientist. Okay, he was a German scientist. He arranged the elements in a proper properties. Okay, and see, his law was the atomic mass of the middle element of a tride was approximately equal to the arithmetic mean of the atomic mass of the two other elements. Let's take an example to understand. See, now I'm going to take sodium, okay, lithium, sodium, potassium. So what he said in his law, see, atomic mass I'm going to write, and atomic mass you don't have to remember. His theory is related to the mass number. Okay, atomic mass number, which we have already done. Mass number, how to find mass number? Protons plus neutrons. Lithium, the atomic weight of lithium was 7. You don't have to study this part. And the atomic mass of potassium was 39. Okay, so what we have to do? We have to add alternate elements. Suppose lithium. After lithium, who is going to come? That is the potassium. So I am going to add these weights. And I am going to remove the mean. What do you mean by mean? Mean means nothing but the average part. So the answer comes as 46 divided by 2, that is 23. Okay, and exactly the mass of the sodium is 23. Okay, see, the mass of the sodium is 23, and when we removed, okay, when we have added the mass of the lithium and potassium, that is the alternative elements, and we removed the mean, we got the answer as 23. And when we got the answer as 23, the Dobereiner laws of Trite was proving up that if you have to make up the periodic table, you have to add the mass, okay, of the alternative elements, and you have to remove the average. And when you are going to do this, so you will get the mass of exactly the middle element. Okay. Now, when he was quite successful on making this, he took many of such kind of examples. He took of calcium, strontium and barium also. Strontium, that is Sr. Okay, sorry, calcium, strontium and barium. Okay, when he was removing the mass of these two at the same period of a time, the answer was equivalent or more or quite similar to this strontium only, because the atomic mass of calcium is 40 and the barium is 137. Okay, what to do? We have to add this part. So it becomes 177 divided by 2, and this is 86. Okay, 86. This is 88.5, and the weight of the, and they notice when they founded up this part, okay, when they founded up this part, this weight, that is of the strontium, so it was around 88, and this is 88.5, and this is 88. So see, again there is a little of a difference, 0.5 difference. Okay, that is negligible only according to the chemistry, but it was proving to be very successful. But as the theory was progressing, okay, Dobereiner's laws of Trite started to fail. Why it started to fail? There was some drawbacks regarding this part. See, this chemistry was around 18th century, but what I said in the start only, okay, there were more and more elements which were discovered. So Dobereiner's laws of Trite failed because he was not knowing up the future elements. Okay, you can't predict up which element is going to come, so his theories got failed. That was the first reason. What was the drawback? Drawback means limitation also. Theory got rejected because new elements got discovered. He failed to arrange the new elements. Okay, this was the first. Second, this law, you have to add the masses of the alternative elements, you have to plus them up, divide by 2, you will get the answer of the middle elements. This law was successful only for the fewer elements, not for the all. Let's take an example to understand this part. Okay, suppose I am going to take FClBr example, and the mass I am going to write. The mass of the chlorine is 19, the mass of the bromine is 80. If I am going to add this part, so it becomes 99 divided by 2, so this is 49.5. okay, this is the answer. If you divide 99 divided by 2, so it is around 49.5, but the mass of the chlorine is around 35.5. See, there is a lot of difference between this 49.5 and 35.5. So this law, which this was not applying for many elements. See, so that is why it got rejected. Now second scientist, that is the Newlands octave. See, again he discovered his discovery was quite successful. Okay, Newland, he was a scientist and he was a lover of music. Why we are taking up the interest in this music part? Because he arranged the elements according to the masses, and every first element property was showing up the similarity with the eighth element. Let's understand with the simple example. Okay, so we know the Indian music. Okay, that is sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni. Again sa will come, right? See, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. So this similarity, see this. This is the first element and this is the eighth element. 2, 3, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Newland, what Newland said? Okay, my every first element will show up the similarity with the eighth element. So that is why the word octaves have came. Octaves means you have heard the word octagon, right? Octagon means 8-sided. So that is why they have given the name Newland's octave, because he said in his theory, in his law, that my first element will always resemble of the same property as of the eighth. Okay, so every eighth element. Now Newland's, what was his merits? Merit means the advantages. Okay, where he got successful. He got successful in bringing up the lighter elements together. Like which lighter elements? Lithium, sodium and potassium. See, lithium, sodium and potassium, even Dobereiner's laws of trade was quite successful. But Newland octaves gave a proper reason regarding this part. He to just implemented, okay, but he implemented as well as executed. What does that means? He said that lithium, sodium and potassium, they all react in a similar fashion. So they should be placed under a one periodic table only. Okay, they should be placed together only. And his theory, this was the first point. Second point, he arranged all of them according to the atomic masses. Okay, with the increasing atomic masses. What does that means? See, if suppose I am giving an example to understand. Suppose hydrogen is 1, so helium will be 2. Okay, then azon. Okay, the mass, sorry, helium is 4. Okay, then lithium will come, that is around 7. See, they will go all in the increasing order, because if you if you have studied up the first 20 elements carefully, so that is hydrogen, helium, lithium. Okay, so they should be arranged in a increasing atomic mass. Then third, for the first time it was shown that there is a distinct periodicity in the properties of elements. Properties of elements, okay, they have seen a distinct periodicity. What do you mean by the word distinct? Unique. Okay, unique. Something extraordinary they have seen in the properties of the elements. What they exactly seen? See, they saw okay, this first element, the reactivity of this first element would be quite similar with the eighth element. Okay, same like that. Suppose this is 1, so this should be 8 and this should be 16. Okay, this is 1. Suppose example I am giving you. Actually this atomic number its atomic number is 3, 11, 19. So if you see, there is a gap of 8. So this lithium, sodium and potassium, as their atomic numbers are this, so they showed up the distinct properties. Okay, there, and these properties led to a conclusion that each and every elements which is arranged in the 1:8 ratio, okay, so not ratio, 1:8, shows up the similar properties. Okay, but this theory got rejected. There was some demerits regarding this part. As I said, this was working for the lighter elements. So what is the opposite of that? That it was not working for the heavier elements, not accepted for the heavier elements. This was the first. Okay, Because Newland octaves was quite successful up to 20 elements only, up to 20 elements, which is the 20th element. The 20th element is calcium. So he was quite successful, but after 20, 21, 22, he was quite not successful because he couldn't arrange those heavy elements in a proper periodic table. Second, if you see up the modern periodic table, Newland adjusted two elements, that is cobalt and nickel, in the same slot, and in the same column, and cobalt, nickel, okay, were arranged, and in the same column only they arranged fluorine, chlorine and bromine. Now how it is possible? This cobalt and nickel are considered as metals, but this fluorine and bromine are considered as non-metals. So how it is possible to arrange this kind of an elements? Okay, if they are metals and they are non-metals, so how we could arrange them in a single periodic table? Okay, in a single line. It's not possible to arrange metals and non-metals together. Why it is not possible? Because assume that metal is a boy and non-metal is a girl. Okay, so how it is possible to fit these boys in the girls part or girls in the boys part? Okay, so this was not acceptable. Iron, that is Fe. This iron shows the similar properties. Like cobalt and nickel. But then too, this iron was placed far away in the periodic table. Okay, was arranged far away. Okay, this cobalt, nickel and iron shows the similar chemical properties. Okay, then too the iron was arranged far away. So that is why they are the demerits. He was not successful in arranging the heavier elements. He was quite successful up to 20 elements. After that he failed. Cobalt, nickel, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, all were arranged in the single part, okay, in the single column and single slot, which was not possible because they are metals and these are non-metals. They have the different properties. Okay, as of now I am going to give just an example. Metals are considered to be a good conductors of electricity, but whereas non-metals can't be considered as a good conductors of electricity. If these metals can conduct electricity, but these non-metals are not going to conduct the electricity, how can we arrange this in a perfect slot? And iron was showing up the property similar to cobalt and nickel, but this iron was placed far away from these elements. Now this was the 2. After every merit there is a demerit. Okay, demerit also, drawback, limitation or demerits, because this is just the terminology, so you don't have to get confused. Now third scientist, that is the Mendeleev. Mendeleev was considered to be the intelligent scientist, okay, in those days. Mendeleev's theory. What do you mean by Mendeleev's theory of periodic table? Mendeleev was quite successful. He arranged around 63 elements. Okay. See, Newland was only successful up to 20 elements, but Mendeleev was successful up to 63 elements. But definitely, as we have written out here, after Mendeleev, Henry Moseley is going to come. So definitely this Mendeleev is also going to get the failure. But he was quite successful, and his story is quite very interesting to know. See, what did Mendeleev say in his law? Mendeleev said all the physical and all the chemical properties of elements are the periodic function of the atomic masses. Okay, all the physical and all the chemical properties of the elements of a periodic function of the atomic masses. See, in an easier and a simple term, I am going to help you out. He said that if we are going to arrange any of the elements, So it should be classified on the basis of the physical and the chemical properties, and this is the golden point. Okay, what do you mean by the word physical? Solid, liquid, gas. What do you mean by the word chemical? Reactivity. That how these elements are going to react with each other. So physical and chemical property, this point is very important. Okay, in his laws he said physical and chemical properties of the element should be same, then only they will be arranged in a single slot. See, as we have discussed in the Newlands, cobalt and nickel are hard means what? Solids. But this fluorine, chlorine, and this fluorine and chlorine are the gases, and this is the liquid. So how these solids and liquids can be arranged together? Not possible, right? But he gave his point. Physical and chemical properties we should keep in mind. So what are the features? Features, okay, features means what? Characteristics. Features, characteristics. Mendeleev was a person who prepared the first periodic table. Okay, he arranged the elements in a periodic table. They didn't arrange this Dobrynius and Newland did not arrange the elements in the periodic table format, but this Mendeleev, he was the first one who arranged every element in the periodic table. Okay, and he showed that we have arranged perfectly. Why? Because he have given the reason of the physical and the chemical properties. So what are the characteristics? He arranged in perfect groups and periods. Groups and periods. Horizontally arranged are called groups. Okay, and these groups, these periods, the vertically arranged are called groups, and horizontally which are arranged are called periods. See, let's take it a look. Suppose first we have to understand how many groups were there. There were around 8 groups. 8 groups. Okay, and then we have to understand how many periods he have arranged. So he have arranged around 6 of those. Now let's understand. See, first I am going to write up the group at the top, and I am going to write this in the numerals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like this. See how they are arranged. They are arranged in the vertical form. And how many groups are there? 8. And who are arranged horizontally? They are the periods. And how many periods are there? 6. Okay, but in the modern it is up to 7. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like this. We have arranged according to them. And what he did in each group, see, this is the group 1, this is the group 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, up to 7, up to group 7, he have divided them into A, B, like this. A column, B column, A column, B column, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. They are the subgroups part. Okay, they are the subgroups part. This is the main group 1, and A and B are considered to be the subgroup part. And this 8th one does not have a subgroup. Okay, they have not been divided into A and B, because in the older days The inert gases were not discovered. What do you mean by inert gases? The noble gases were not discovered as of now. So they have been divided into A, B and O. So how they have divided? HL, I, Na, K, Rb, Cs, Fr. Okay. Right now I am going to write like this. Not Fr because the seventh period was not introduced. See here. This H, L, I, N, K, R, B, C, S. Okay. And this B columns have Cu, Ag, Au. They all were arranged like this. Okay. And that was up to 7, A and B. But in 8, there were no subgroups. We can't see the division into A and B. Okay. This was the first point. And why they were arranged? Why this copper, okay, why this copper, silver, Ag and gold was arranged in a similar fashion? Because they all showed up the same similar properties. Which properties? Physical and chemical properties. And they showed up the same valencies also. And showed the same valency. Shows the same valency. They showed the similar properties, that is the physical and chemical, and they showed the same valencies as well. Okay, and this periodic tables was perfectly very well arranged according to metals and non-metals. On the left hand side of your periodic table, if I'm going to divide my periodic table, okay, into two division, that is 1 to 4 and from 5 to 8. So this first to 4, which was highly consist of the metals part, and this 5th to 8 was highly consist of the non-metal parts. Okay, so what they have written, elements gradually change their properties from metallic to metal to non-metallic. Because see, if I'm going to move from left to right, this is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. If I'm going to move from left to right, so what is going to happen? The metallic character is going to change and it's going to get converted into the non-metallic. See, as I said, the first to 4 was considered to be the metals part, and then from 5th onwards it got converted into the non-metal. So from moving from left to right, it was changing up its trend. From metallic it was getting non-metallic. Okay, so the metallic character was decreasing, because as we were moving from left to right, the metals were changing into the non-metals. So what were the merits, okay, of the Mendeleev? First, he could easily group them. Merits. Mendeleev's. What is the first point? Grouping of elements. This point is very important. Why this is very important? Because he arranged the elements according to the group, okay, and he arranged them according to the periods also. And how many groups were there? Around 8 groups were there, which was half of metals, half of non-metals. Then second point, he left gap for the undiscovered elements. This was the main theory of his. See, gaps for undiscovered element means what? See, Newlands. Newland was successful up to the 20th element, that is of calcium. Okay, after that he got failed. Why he got failed? Because Newland failed to leave the places, because Newland thought that these are some restrictive elements. Okay, the elements are going to get restricted. So his theory was not very well developed. But what did Mendeleev did? Mendeleev have studied the Dobrynius and Newland laws of octaves very carefully. He has studied their laws and came to know that they failed to leave the gap for the undiscovered elements. because Dobrynius and Newlands, they were quite only successful for the lighter elements, and they could not got succeeded for the heavier elements. But Mendeleev was knowing that part very well, that in the future many more elements are going to get discovered. So either they will show the property of a metal, non-metal, or a metal. So in the start only he made up his mind that I'm going to leave up the gap for some undiscovered elements, and this undiscovered elements will be get folded in this. And then C part, predictions. Third part was prediction. Okay, what he predicted. See, as he have left the gaps for the undiscovered elements, so he predicted that if I have left the gaps, so which places would be quite proper to leave the gaps. See, because as I have already said, okay, this was the periodic table which he have discovered. So suppose there is a metal out here. Okay, suppose I am writing a random name. Okay, beryllium. So he exactly left the place out here, that after beryllium someone is going to come. Okay, he predicted the properties of those elements. So what he predicted? He predicted the properties of undiscovered elements. So that is why he was considered to be the smartest scientist of all, because he predicted the properties of the undiscovered elements. And see, here is an example to understand it more perfectly. Okay, how he predicted. See what they have written out here. He actually predicted the properties of the undiscovered elements in 1871. How? See, the word Eka aluminium. The word Eka means one place below aluminium in the group, which will have the same which will have an atomic mass of its own and will show the same chemical properties. And same goes with the gallium also. Okay, and after similar to those of the elements of the gallium discovered in 1876. See what I mean to say. If you look the Mendeleev, this part, okay, so what he did, he made a place out here that is of the aluminium. So what he did, he left out the place out here. Okay, and as he left the place, he named as the Eka aluminium. And the word Eka, it's a Greek word which means place one below, one place left. Okay, the place has been left in the below the aluminium. Eka means place one below aluminium. So he was knowing that after aluminium, okay, there would be some of the element that is going to come, and after a span of around 5 years, okay, in 1876, because he discovered up his property in 1871, and after 5 years there was a discovered, okay, a new element got discovered that is called gallium. And in today's modern periodic table also, if you are going to see that gallium, see below aluminium gallium is going to come. Same like that, he discovered the property of the silicon and germanium. Word silicon means Eka silicon. Word Eka silicon means what? Okay, one is going to come below the silicon part. So who came? Germanium. Let's understand the similarity of this aluminium and gallium. They both are metal. Okay, they both are luster. Luster means they show up the shiny property. They form the same oxides. See, this is the symbolic form. This R denotes the metal and this O means the oxygen. See, the valency of aluminium is 3 and oxygen is 2. If I am going to use the crisscross method, so it is going to form Al2O3. Aluminium, see, instead of R put aluminium, Al2O3. So gallium also showed up the same property. Okay, and they form this metal form the respective hydrides also. Instead of instead of R, I'm going to put Al and valency of H. If I'm going to use a crisscross, so aluminium AlH3. See this form. Okay, so same like that, gallium also showed up the same part. And he also incorrected. There was some elements in the older days whose masses were incorrect. Okay, so he corrected that masses. Which element masses he got? He have corrected, that is gold, Au, and platinum. Okay, in the olden days, this gold and platinum was having a different mass number. Okay, but he observed this gold and platinum carefully, and he came to know the exact masses, and he tried to arrange them on the basis of the similarities, because this gold and platinum, we have studied about the chemical reaction chapter, they are least reactive. Okay, so see, as I'm saying, they are least reactive, and their physical property are solid, and their chemical property is least reactive. They are placed in the one column only. Then, so he got mostly successful, but there was some failure. Let's understand his failure. Defects means the failures only. Okay, demerits. What was the demerits? See, argon, if you know the periodic table perfectly, argon, and after argon only potassium comes. So the mass of argon was 39.9, whereas the mass of potassium was 39.1. So many of the people have asked him, okay, why argon is kept before the potassium. The exact position should be like this, na? Okay, the weight is less and then it got increased. Okay, but it was kept in a reverse order. Argon was placed before the potassium. So how it is possible then? How you can keep the lighter element, that is this lighter element mass, in front than the heavier one? So this was the first failure. And same happened with the cobalt and nickel also. Okay, cobalt was 58.9 and the mass of the nickel was 58.6. So this was the failure. Second, position of isotopes. What do you mean by the word isotopes? Isotopes means same. Okay, iso means the word same. So same chemical property. Okay, isotopes means the atoms which have the same chemical property. Isotopes means what? Same chemical property but different physical property. Same chemical property but different physical property. Let's take an example. We have already studied this in the atomic structure chapter. Okay, they have the same atomic number, na? As they have the same atomic number, their chemical properties are same, but they have a different mass number. See here. So that is why their physical property is changing. This is very heavier. This is very heavier. Why this is very heavier? Because the atomic number, the mass number is 3 and this mass number is 1. So we can predict it by masses only. because on the lower side we write the atomic number and the above we write the mass number. So we can see the mass number is quite very heavy. So position of isotopes. So what did Mendeleev said? Mendeleev said that we should give a proper position to the isotopes also. This isotopes, hydrogen, this 3 hydrogen should be given a separate place. But how it is possible? If you go with the same, because in his theory only he said, if you notice up his theory, he said we will arrange according to the physical and the chemical properties. If the chemical properties are same, okay, if the chemical properties are same, so how we can give them the different position? So his theory got rejected. Okay, this position of isotopes. So he couldn't define this part, how to place the isotopes. He got failed with some of the elements. Okay, if you look at this, his periodic table. Okay, I'm going to zoom it for you. This lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. This is copper, silver, gold. If we notice, this all elements come under the first group only. Okay, as this all elements come under the first group, so what we can predict out here? We can predict that these elements are very reactive in nature. Because if you know the metal reactivity series, so who is at the top? Potassium is at the top. And who is there on the below side? That is silver, gold. So how we can place this in a similar group only? See, they are very reactive in nature and they are least reactive. So how it is possible to place under one group? ये ज़्यादा reactive है ना, और ये कम reactive है. तो how can you give a similar group only? Okay, this element should be differentiated. Okay, copper, silver and gold should have been given a different slot. Okay, it should not be placed under this part because they are very reactive. Who? This, and this is least reactive. So this was the third failure, chemically dissimilar elements. Separation of chemical similar elements. Now exactly the reverse part. Okay, this was related to the dissimilar elements and this was related to the similar elements. We all know that part very well, that gold and platinum shows the same properties. Okay, they are least reactive, they have valency 1, they are the heavy metals. We know that part. Okay, but they have been given a different position. Okay, they have been arranged differently. Okay, if you look, at the periodic table, okay, see, where is this gold? Gold is in the first group. And where is platinum? Platinum is in the 8th group. This gold is in first group and the platinum is in the 8th group. How it is possible? Gold and platinum shows the similar chemical properties. So how we can differentiate? So that is why chemical similar elements also got arranged differently, and dissimilar elements were kept in a single slot. Okay, exactly the reverse part. Now, fifth part, electron arrangement. See, Mendeleev was not believing according to the electron arrangement. We have studied this in the atomic structure chapter. Okay, so he couldn't explain the electron arrangements. Okay, who explained the electron arrangements part? That is the Bohr-Buriess. He said that we have to arrange in the 2n square formula. Position of hydrogen, he couldn't arrange the electron part. Electron arrangement part he couldn't explain. Position of hydrogen. What do you mean by the position of hydrogen? Hydrogen was not given as a fixed position, okay, whether it should be placed in a group 1 or a group 7. The position of hydrogen is always a mystery, whether should it get a position 1 or it should give a position 7. Now why position 1 and position 7? See, according to the modern periodic table, there is many more explanation regarding the hydrogen, but the thing has not been sorted out perfectly, because hydrogen can shows up your two valencies. It can shows a positive one also, and in some cases it can shows a negative one also. Like when it is going to show positive valency and when it is going to show the negative valency. See, when we know this formula very well, right? HCl. This is an example, okay? The chlorine valency is fixed -1, and what is the valency of hydrogen? +1. See, here it is showing up the positive valency. But if I am going to combine this hydrogen with metal, this hydrogen shows a positive valency and this hydrogen shows a negative valency. This chlorine shows a negative valency and this sodium shows a positive valency. Now what I mean to say, see, in the case here it is showing up the positive valency, and in this case it is showing up the negative valency. When this is showing up a positive valency, when it is reacting with a non-metal, and when it is showing a negative valency, when it was reacting with a metal. Okay, so the position of hydrogen was not fixed, whether it should be positioned in a group 1 or group 7. So that is why his theory got rejected. Now finally the main person is going to come, that is the Henry Moseley. Henry Moseley was also a intellectual scientist, but Mendeleev was considered as the brilliant, because Mendeleev have sorted out each and everything. See, he showed that the element should be arranged in a chemical and physical properties first. Second, he also said that the element should be arranged in a proper groups and periods. Okay, see, every theory he left the gaps for the undiscovered element. He thought that some element is going to come in the near future, and he was quite right, because after aluminium there was the introduction of the gallium series, and after silicon there was the introduction of the germanium. So he was quite successful. But last but not the least, who got succeeded? Henry Moseley got succeeded. Why the Henry Moseley got succeeded? Because see, he introduced, first we will understand what he introduced. He introduced the modern periodic table. See, he also introduced the periodic table, but it was not considered as the modern part. Okay, but he arranged in the when he arranged the periodic table of the elements, so it was considered as the modern periodic table. Why it was considered as a modern periodic tables? Because during Henry Moseley times there were many of the elements which were available, and he just wanted to sort it out. Okay, because in the Mendeleev period there were only fewer elements, but Henry Moseley, when came into the existence, at that period of a time there were many elements. Okay, and he could easily arrange, and the main and the utmost thing, he arranged the elements according to the atomic number. Okay, what do you mean by atomic number? As we have a serial number, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6, same like that we have the atomic number. Same the thing, we have a atomic number. Now Henry Moseley, what is the main thing he did? Henry Moseley have said that for every element, that for each and every elements, atomic number should be the fundamental property. Should be the fundamental property of elements. Atomic number should be the fundamental property of elements. Okay, for every elements. Because why? He corrected the Mendeleev theory. So what are the merits of it? See, as we were knowing that Mendeleev could not give a perfect position to the isotopes, but Mendeleev have given this position perfectly to the isotopes. Position of isotopes. What do you mean by the word position of isotopes? See, he said that no separate position should be given to isotopes. They should be kept in the one column only. Okay, there should be only one hydrogen. There should not be a 3 hydrogen. That is, this should not be there. He said only a single hydrogen element should be written. Okay, no need to give a proper position. No separate position should be given to an isotope. No separate place should be given to isotopes. Second, position of argon and potassium. See, as we have studied, argon and potassium, their mass number was 39.1 and 39.9, and this was 39.1. Okay, so he said that this placing of this argon and potassium is right. How? Because he have given the theory on the basis of the atomic number. He has said this is position 18 and this is position 19. See, now you can get a reason. See, this is increasing. The above 3 scientists, that is Dobiner laws of Trite, Newland octaves, and this Mendeleev, all have given the reason according to the mass number. But this was the only scientist, Henry Moseley, who has given the classification on the basis of the atomic number. So that is why he have given this point, atomic number should be the fundamental property of an element. Okay, and as he could give the proper reasons to the world of science, this theory got accepted. And today we are going to and in today's world we can study of this part. See, this is a modern periodic table where each and every things are properly arranged. If you look, they are arranged in a groups, they are arranged in a periods. Okay, there was an introduction of a noble gas, because as I already mentioned, because during his period there were more elements available with him, so he could get in proper estimate how to place up the elements. And he have studied the Mendeleev theory perfectly, so that he could easily remove the drawback and could have worked on this part. So this was the part 1 of the periodic table. Thank you, students.